Yeah, I think like VTubing and being in Phase Connect has shaped me into the person that I am today. And so much of who I am is tied to the work that I do as a member of Phase Connect that, you know, like as I am now, like, you know, maybe. But before Phase Connect, like I didn't really have much going for me in my life at all. I mean, like, as though like well, no, that's not entirely true these days, but like, yeah, back when I think like year 1 was really rough, right? Like at like a personal level. If you guys like have been around since year 1, basically like my whole reason for VTubing was like I got laid off from a job I had in the anime industry, kind of, and then the pandemic hit. And prior to the pandemic, I was like a very sociable person, right? I was like always going out. I had like a pretty cool job. Yeah, I was like, you know, in school full time, and I had a lot going for me, and it felt great. And when the pandemic hit, some stuff happened, and I developed extreme case of, how do you pronounce it? Agoraphobia, which is basically like the fear of being around other people. And I think that struggle, I could never be completely honest about what it was like, because I didn't want people on the internet after I debuted thinking that I was a major loser. But like, I couldn't leave my room in my house. I couldn't like see my parents at all. Like I couldn't like stomach to be outside of my room. I would like try and go out, you know, because like the exposure is good for you. I remember the day Tenma and Pippa debuted. To celebrate my debut, I went out to lunch with my mom, and on the car ride to lunch, I was so anxious I almost threw up. And when we got to the lunch place, I didn't eat anything because I was so anxious, and then I threw up, and then we had to leave where we were going to eat for lunch early. I just came home and like laid in bed and cried the whole time. And that was pretty much like what it was like for like a while, I think. I would really try, you know, and then I would go back and I'd be like, yeah, guys, I went out and I did this, you know, this is so awesome. My life is so cool. But it's like, no, I went out, yeah, but then I had to turn around and come back home after a little bit because I was really unwell. And I think it was around like Anime Expo 2022? We were having a booth there, and I really wanted to go, and I felt like I wasn't going to be able to because of, you know, my condition. But I was really trying to get better, and I was able to go, and it was great, and we had a great time, and I really felt like I was better because like the girls in Phase and everything was wonderful. And then it came back really badly, and I had to like start from the ground up again, trying to like get over it before the next time. And the next time, there was even like a year, the first time I ever met Sheena, we like were doing like a weekend trip, and I had to like leave the weekend trip early because like my condition was really bad still, even though I felt like it was okay. It took a really long time for me to get over it properly, and I just never wanted to be completely honest with it because it makes me sound like a super stupid fucking loser. And I think these days, like, for the 3D stuff, it kind of like really forced me to like get comfortable with it. And I don't really struggle with it as much these days, but it's taken like a lot of like therapy and trying different medications and, you know, this and that to get back on my own 2 feet and like kind of have the life that I used to. But yeah, I mean, VTubing's really all I had going for me for the longest time. Because I couldn't leave my house, like, at all. Like, I would barely leave my room. It really sucked. But, like, yeah, these days it's way better. So it's not like a sob story. This is like a success story, okay? Like, it gets better. It does. You just have to try. It takes a long time, but you'll get better one day. Yeah, if it wasn't for Phase Connect, then, like, I don't think that, like, I would have had a reason to push myself and to try it all. And that's pretty cool, you know? Because, like, even when I had nothing else going on, like, I still had FaZe and I still had like all of you guys, and like I didn't want to look like a loser in front of you guys because that's really fucking embarrassing. So I was like, okay, I guess like I will do better, and I guess I will go back to school, and I guess I will try doing this, and I guess I will take care of myself, and then eventually it just ended up being like, oh well, now I just live like a normal person that doesn't really leave my house. But that's like it's like a choice these days. That's what makes it better. It's like it's a choice for me to not leave my house, whereas like before that wasn't the case. Yeah, you know, the job I had at the boba store, I had to quit after 2 days because my condition was so bad. Yeah, I think I went back on stream and I told you guys like, oh no, I quit it because like I didn't really want to work there. I just wanted to like dedicate myself to VTubing full time, you know. Yeah, I chose you guys in the end over it. That's not true, actually. I'm sorry. The first day I worked at the boba store, everything was okay, and then I had like a panic attack, kind of. Well, I don't know. It wasn't exactly a panic attack. And like the way the condition like manifested, at least for me, like kind of felt like a panic attack, but it gave me like really bad heart pain. Like I had to go to the hospital a couple times because it was really bad. Yeah, and so I ended up like not being able to stand up because like the heart pain from it was so bad. And then the second day I came, and at the end of my shift, I was feeling really bad again like that. But I made it through the whole shift, and I was like, well, it's probably gonna get better, but I feel like it's just a burden if I keep staying here. So I had to like explain to the person that hired me like about my condition, and then like be like, you know, I'm really sorry that I can't like see this through all the way, but like I just physically can't do it. And then like a couple days later I was in the hospital. Yeah, panic attacks can be mistaken for a heart attack. Well, not a heart attack, but like heart pain. You know, like really intense heart pain. But yeah, that's the truth behind the boba story. Is like I didn't quit the boba store for you guys, right? I quit the boba store because I physically couldn't be there because I was a fucking neat ass loser. Yeah. It wasn't like it was like a difficult job or anything, but yeah. That's like why I couldn't go back to school, right? Because like my school, they ended up like halting classes because like their online system was really bad that they set up like as an emergency for COVID. So they were just like, no, like just, you know, everyone come back later. And I was like, okay, I will. And then I went back for a little bit, and then I couldn't do it because of that. So I was like, damn, that really blows. So then I dropped out of school, and then I went back. Yeah, I'm gonna have to deliberately forget about the heart thing again. The good news is that it doesn't really happen these days. Like, it kind of does, but I don't think I've ever had it as bad as it used to be. So it's not something to worry about. I barely even remember about it, which is like a good thing, you know? Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh man, it's happening again. But then I'm like, okay, no, not like, I can like ground myself when it's happening. I'm like, no, everything will be fine. Oh my god, I remember there was one time after I was streaming, I went to Japan because I was like, I'm not gonna let myself be defeated by my condition. I'm gonna go to Japan. And I was sick the entire time I was there because of my anxiety, and it was like the worst trip I've ever taken because all I did was like sit inside of the Airbnb and be miserable, and that really blew. And I was like, damn, I'm never gonna be able to do this again. And then look at how far I've come. Yeah, look at me now. Do I get anxiety when I'm out in the streets in Japan? No, I get lost and I'm like, damn, that sucks. Anyways, the Google Maps time, whereas before I would have just blown myself up in the middle of the street. Take this as an inspiration story. If I can get better, then you can get better, okay? VTubing saves lives. And maybe a little bit of yaoi. But, you know, if you are somebody that's struggling with anxiety like that, or like an extreme condition like that, it gets better. It really does. It feels like it's never gonna get better. We knew you were okay. Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.